Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Tonight we play a World of Warships Legends, like we've done many nights before, and probably many nights to come, right? This map, man, like I hate starting in this position on this map. It's like you're in the middle, but on the right, like, like these spawn positions just are terrible. Especially as a battleship, like I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. So I make the decision to kind of break further to the right, and like whether you really would want to go all the way around, I feel like that would put me out of play for a while, right? But yeah, it's all circumstantial. It all depends on how many destroyers and things are in the game. So there's only 2 destroyers in this game, so I decide to kind of just hang out in between these 2 big islands, because that seems to be where the action's going to end up, just based on the amount of destroyers in the game and battleships in the game. Like, I'm assuming none of the other battleships are going to want to go out wide, right? But we're not paying too much attention, so we get smacked from the left there, but it wasn't bad. Those were HE shells, but it at least made me perk up and be like, okay, what's over there? What can hurt me bad? But then we finally do get some spots here, right? So now we actually have some targets to decide on. We are not spotted at this very moment, but I'm sure that will change here as we start firing our guns. And we've got a Vergon, and those are, some of these French battleships, they move quick, and I underestimated that, so my shot was a little short there, right? But we still got some hits. We still got 7,000 damage on that first salvo. And I'm, kind of preparing myself in a defensive position to be able to shoot at these guys that are in front of me and hopefully not take too much damage from those from the battleships that are off to the left of me, in the center of the map there. So these guys on this side are probably my biggest threat, and so that's why I'm angled a little bit in that direction as well, right? So I'm not completely broadside, so hopefully I don't take too big of hits. And so that's why I've positioned myself here. This guy isn't looking my direction, but I am keeping an eye on the reticle there, so we have the little island symbol next to the reticle, so we weren't able to hit him. That's how you know if you're going to hit the, hit land versus hitting the ship or the ocean, right? So that's why we took our shot at this Alaska here, and that worked out much better for us. I got a little bit more damage than I was expecting to against that Alaska there. I feel like when I play as the Alaska, like I die so quickly, but normally when I'm shooting at an Alaska, I do not get that much damage, so I was happy with that salvo there. But this has drawn our attention to this direction, so now we are shooting at this battleship instead of the guys that had come out in front of us. And those guys went out wide, and then we do have a teammate signaling to us that somebody is out there. I'm assuming a destroyer. Back on that, I'm looking at the mini map of the far right side is where I saw that signal. So our destroyer is probably trying to pair off with another destroyer on their team. But I'm most valuable here shooting this battleship. So there he is. There's a Shimakaze out there, and that's kind of what he was warning us of. Typically, their torpedo range is around 11 kilometers, depending on how they have their commanders and ships set up, right? So I'm assuming I'm going to be safe from him, and so that's why I'm using my damage control party against this fire that started on us here. But it doesn't, it couldn't hurt to turn away, so as I'm backing up, I'm going to move a little bit further away from that Shimakaze that's out there. Either way, like, he's going to shoot at the destroyer that's coming at him, at the destroyer that's on our team, and so those torpedoes are headed this direction no matter what, whether he was aiming for me or aiming for our friendly destroyer. But yeah, so now at this point, like, I'm not spotted, and I'm waiting for somebody on their team to be spotted, and you can see out in the field out there off to the right on our screen here, there's 15 torpedoes from that Shimakaze. Like, that looks like a lot, right? Like, where's the other guy? Maybe he's out there too, right? But that was what we were afraid of. So we prepared for that, right? So those have no chance of hitting us at this point. But we'll continue to move backwards until we get something to shoot at here. So this Montana So he's being smart here. He's shooting at us. Well, which of course is smart, right? Shoot at the enemy. But he's not. He's angled appropriately, right? So our bullets don't do any damage, and we actually get some misses there. I do feel like lately the one of the like recent updates, like just RNG on bullets, like especially with some of the battleships that I really like to play, like the Yamato and like the Marlborough, like from the British side. Like I feel like some of these, like the RNG on shells is just not as good as it used to be. Either that, I'm having like a bad luck streak when it comes to like RNG, right? Like I'm just not getting the big hits, or like even just the contact that I felt like I was getting before. So I don't know if any of you guys are like the super nerds that are in there with like whatever the like the updates are and whatever the minor tweaks are. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, so I was kind of hoping to steal this kill from this Shimakaze here. Like those bullets looked pretty good for a minute there, but they fall short, or yeah. So we didn't shoot far enough in front of him. But our destroyer buddy finishes him off, so we give him the nice work command there. So now it's just a matter of like, all right, who do I like? I'm like so indecisive at this moment in this game. Like I've probably taken more bullets and more damage than I've dished out. Right, like we got 1 kill, 56,000 damage. And we got 37,000 left in our own health, right? So I got some making up to do, is kind of how I feel in this game so far. But luckily the team has done good, like the last few games I've posted on YouTube, I'm like thankful to my team. Like they've carried me, right? Like, so if you're not a good player, occasionally the team can carry you. That still happens, right? But yeah, this Montana, like, so far he's been smart in this game, right? Like, although, like, my assumption is, like, him being behind those islands, he probably hasn't done much damage. Like, he probably hasn't. Oh, now I'm just now noticing that, like, the score has been, like, settled here. We're both down 2 ships. But I don't know why he does this. Like, he comes in and he's going broadside to me. Like the Montana is an awesome ship. Like, you have really great guns. You have a lot of health that could be taken, like you have a lot of health. But man, like broadside like this is just a bad idea, especially to something like a Yamato. Like anybody with big, heavy AP rounds is just a bad idea. So like I overshot. I assumed he was going to be speeding behind that island to try and take cover from me. So I shot further in front of him than I should have. It was just based on an assumption. But like I'm keeping an eye on him, because if he continues to stay along that path, like I'm gonna get some sweet hits on him. Like there's just no doubt in my mind. If he stays broadside, like that Montana, like I've been in that ship and I've had my health drained just obnoxiously. So like I've been in the situation he is in right now, and it is just a beautiful shot. It's beautiful. Like, there's no way he's not getting drained. So he loses, boom, half his health right there just from doing that. So I kind of assumed that, like, maybe he was like, okay, I'm not in a position to do any damage against the enemy team. And so that's why he came through that set of islands there and then, came through here. But, like, I feel like he's indecisive now, and so he is going to get the same thing that's going to happen to him. He just did not make a decision quick enough based on what was happening to him. I do have, for the legendary, like, boosters or whatever, the mods, that you want to call it for the ship. So I do have it like faster reload. So as I'm doing damage, I'm getting, as every 30,000 damage, I'm getting faster reload on this main battery. And then for the first kill that I got, we got another plus, 5% damage, which in this, on our main battery shells, which in this ship can be just brutal. Yamato's got some pretty big ballistics, big shells that can go long range, and with these Japanese optics, like they're accurate too, right? So we smoked that Montana just because he was broadside to us. So that was more his mistake than it was my skill, for sure. Just, don't be broadside to another battleship. Like, general rule of thumb, like, even if you know all the nitty-gritty technical details about armor and stuff, like, just, it's not a good idea to be broadside to a battleship, right? No matter who you are. So Kurfürst, so this one's going to be a little bit tougher for us. I have not had as much success in getting crazy big hits against a Kurfürst when I'm in the Yamato. So yeah, Citadel hits are a little bit harder to come by. And it's part of it's just I don't know where to hit the ship. And they sit low in the water too, so that sidewall isn't as big as you'll see on some of the other battleships, right? But at this point in the game, they are advancing towards us, which I feel like has been their downfall. Because as they come in one at a time here, multiple teammates on my team, our friendly allies, are kind of picking on that one lead ship, right? And so that's why they've been going down. But like paying attention to the mini map and the ship count, like we are actually technically losing here. We are losing on points and we are down a ship too. So I don't know if we'll be able to pull this game off. Now we are down 2 ships. I know we've got a destroyer off behind us too. We can see a smoke screen on the map here. So that's where that guy is. And I'm pretty sure that's a Shimakaze that's left, right? So this island right behind me here off to my left is probably my saving grace at this point. That is probably preventing torpedoes from just annihilating me from that destroyer. But here it is, Christmas time. This Alaska shows up right between these islands, and he is perfectly broadside. And we get a bigger than expected hit on him. Like I said before, Alaska, I have always feel like I've struggled to get big hits on Alaskas, and that happened twice for me in this game. So on the flip side, I'm just complaining that my RNG against ships has been worse, and then we get some good hits there too. So 185,000 damage in a legendary tier battleship, like that is a great game to start off with. Or that is a great game to just have in general with with a legendary tier battleship. So we'll at least maybe make some credits, right? So our rear turret just happened to be facing towards that Shimakaze, so I took that shot. I'm gonna assume that our cruiser is not going to be able to keep him spotted for too long, but I keep an eye on him here just because there's nobody else for me to shoot at. These other 2 battleships are both behind islands. I just don't have line of sight on them, so we might as well shoot at what we can. Can somebody kill him? Will it be us? I'm kind of taking randomest shots because I know he's going to be ducking and weaving. But the cruiser manages to finish him off. So we're even on ships, but because it's 1 battleship and a destroyer to their 2 battleships, they are up on points. Battleships are worth more points, so if a battleship is destroyed, you lose more points versus a destroyer being destroyed on your team. As well as if you kill a battleship, you get more points versus killing a destroyer. So that's why the point difference here. And so I don't know if we'll be able to pull this game out of our ass or not. The destroyer setting the smoke screen, his intentions were good, but it really didn't matter. The second I shoot my guns, I'm going to be spotted regardless. So trying to make sure I'm not blocking his torpedoes, seeing how good of a shot we can get on this Giuseppe Verde. There's less than a minute left in this game. So in order for us to seal off this win, that Giuseppe Verde needs to die, and I don't think those torpedoes are going to be able to hit him. He is playing smart. He has been backing up. He's been assuming that he will get attacked by the 1 destroyer left on our team here. And this might be my last shot here, so I switched to HE in hopes that I could get a fire going on him, and then maybe the destroyer could get a flood going on him. and he would only be able to damage control one of those two. But yeah, as you can see, he's already damage controlled the fire, as I am not getting any more damage points, and all of the torpedoes missed from our destroyer. So yeah, so we lose this game, but I feel like we had a great game ourselves. Like, we did our part. 4 kills, 200,000 plus damage. That was a good, fun game for us. I feel like we played it right. You know, we took a couple of bad hits, but I don't know. Some of it's, you know, just luck of the draw based on, you know, what the other team is doing, right? Like, you can be the greatest player in the world and lose a game just because, you know, of what the other team's been doing, whether they're playing good or bad, right? And so I had a great score because that Montana kind of made some bad decisions there, and we were able to wipe him out pretty quickly. So here's how I have my commander set up. I love this this dragon commander, guys, the celestial guardian, but the voice just sounds like the arbiter from like Halo 2, so it's like, you know. But yeah, so this Yamato, I've got him set up for this ship is just all range and accuracy and AP shell penetration and stuff like that. So that's how I've set him up. Thanks for watching, you guys. Until next time, we have more World of Warships Legends videos on the way. Thanks again. Bye.